Hi, Nicholas Corey here with a very impromptu stream. So impromptu that you'll probably hear the sounds of my laundry going and probably even of my kids going in and out of the house because they're playing outside right now with my wife. And I wanted to just do a quick recap of our first session of Rime of the Frostmaiden, which we attempted to stream last night. However, we did run into some crippling technical difficulties. Unfortunately, the combined internet usage of myself streaming, my wife watching on Netflix, and my kids watching on YouTube all at the same time, right at 7 o'clock, resulted in the quality of the stream being entirely like 100% suboptimal, like not watchable in the least. And then on top of that, Discord as well was eating so much of my computer's processes that it was not a feasible solution for using that for the call. So me and the players are troubleshooting ideas currently. We're talking about alternatives and things that we can do to make sure that it's better for next week. We will be streaming again next week, and we're talking about our alternatives, whether that's someone else running the stream on this account, on this Twitch channel for me, or whether that's me using something other than Discord for video purposes. It might even be we use Roll20, run it all through the browser, and operate that way. I hear that's easier on your system than running Discord and Twitch and Roll20 all at once. That all being said, again, I apologize profusely. I've been hyping up this campaign so hard, and then our very first stream ended up just not being great at all. So if you were here for that stream, if you did stick it out and listen to the audio, because the audio was mostly okay, it was the video that had trouble. Thank you. But what I'm going to do here right now is just recap for you what happened very quickly. Luckily, it was very much a everyone's finding their footing sort of a situation, and then I'm going to talk about what to expect next week, next session on Tuesday the 8th. So our session opened up in the city of Luskan. The adventurers all converged on the warehouse of the Luskar deliverers. So that was where we started. The adventurers did not know each other when we started. They were all brand new to this situation. So they got their first job where they had to collect deliveries from around the city of Luskan, and at the point of delivery they'd also have to collect payment. And so they then proceeded to go to the different points in the city of Luskan and collect those deliveries. There were 5 different packages they had to collect, and then the delivery of those packages will comprise the future adventures that we do in the lead up to Rime of the Frostmaiden. After they collected a couple of them, they were passing by a bridge in Luskan, crossing the river Mirar, and they noticed a couple people were observing their activity, and then went to go presumably report on their observation to someone else. So they took note of that. Once they completed picking up all the packages, which was largely without incident, they then got to their ship, the Icebreaker, a ship that the Luskar deliverers are using to get these packages and these parcels up to Icewind Dale and the colder northern regions of Faerun. Also, I should say that this campaign is starting at the end of August in the Faerun calendar in the D&D time frame. So winter is approaching at some point. That's something to keep in mind as well. But they get to the Icebreaker. The captain is called away for a different altercation or some sort of situation that needs resolving on his end. And then the players are forced to deal with a group from Ship Karth, which is one of the governmental or ruling houses of Luskan. There's a veteran and 5 bandits that they had to dispatch. And thanks to the liberal use of a couple of sleep spells, and then just some very strong concentrated efforts, they were able to take care of those individuals quite easily, get some information from the veteran, to which one of the players, Kaylee, our monk, said that don't worry, once we leave Luskan, they shouldn't be an issue anymore. So then we had an evening on the Icebreaker as they left Luskan, sailing out for Icewind Dale, for Fire Shear, their first stop on their trip. And in the evening, 2 of the characters were awake late into the evening, long past when everyone else had fallen asleep, and those were Runa and Leif. Runa is our druid, our eccentric druid who has obviously been away from other people for an extended period of time. And Leif is our ranger, who is originally from the Icewind Dale region and is now returning to it. they both heard a splash from outside of the ship, which sounded like it was really close to the vessel, so it sounded like something was thrown overboard. Leif went to investigate. Didn't discover much on the top deck of the ship. The two night watchmen both were unaware of it, and he found that the lantern on the aft of the ship was out, so he relit the lantern, and he discovered that one of the ropes that they have coiled along the rails has been cut. So that's not a whole lot of information to go off of, but he still felt like something was up. So he ended up then returning to his cabin, and then the following day they went to Fireshear. And once they got to Fireshear, they learned that the part of the town was actually on fire, or at least appeared to be on fire. And when they went to investigate, they discovered that there were a number of methods that had sprung up from somewhere, and they were keeping these buildings, the fires in these buildings, going. So once they dispatched the smoke, ice, and magma methods, the fires kind of subsided and went back down to their original, just kind of smoldering embers. And then they were able to assist the townsfolk of Fireshear to put those fires out. Following that, they then completed their first delivery by bringing the letter that was intended for Fireshear to its recipient, Griggle Dustloch, a Dwagar blacksmith. They had an interaction with him where they learned that he was not in charge, but he was responsible for the fires that had broken out. And then they basically convinced him that he needed to stop his projects and assist with putting out the fires and kind of rebuilding those houses before he goes any further. He thanked them, he paid them the postage, but he also then gave them 2 adamantine bars, and he told them that if they find a blacksmith and they have time, that they can craft those adamantine bars into something very useful. So that's a nice little reward for them as well. And then on their way out of Fireshear, they spoke to the village elder again, who addressed them when they first arrived. They spoke to her, and she asked them if they had discovered the origin of the fires and the calamity that had engulfed that whole side of the village. And Rixana, our swashbuckler, lied and said that it just seemed like monsters showed up, but they couldn't tell from where. And Rixana succeeded on that lie with a pretty substantial roll. So what that means for us going forward is that Griggle will not be kicked out of the village of Fireshear. He will be there the next time the players arrive there. And that's pretty much it. We made a couple of decisions off-air regarding future sessions, especially when we're on board the Icebreaker, that we're going to be doing what are called close quarter scenes. That's a house rule that is actually adapted from my own RPG system that I'm working on. The idea is that when the characters are confined to a tight space with each other and they don't have the option to leave and go and interact with other people, they only have each other. It forces, interactions and that sort of thing. So the start of session 2, we will resolve close quarters scenes for our 6-player characters before we continue on with the encounters of the week. Overall, I mean, despite the technical difficulties, and it really sucks, and I feel so bad that you guys weren't able to watch that episode, because it was really fun, even if it was very much, your cookie cutter start of a campaign sort of encounter or sort of adventure. It was really, really fun playing that. It was exciting to see these characters kind of thrive and flourish and start to find their footing as far as the types of interactions they had. But, like I said, we're looking into alternatives. We're probably going to try running everything through Roll20 and avoid using Discord for voice chat, just so that way we're cutting down on the number of applications that my computer's trying to run at one time. And that being said, then next session we'll be starting with some really awesome, fun character interactions where it's going to be one-on-one character interactions, very short little vignettes, so we get a better idea of who these characters are and what they're about and how they feel about each other. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I apologize for the lapse in streaming or the problems that we had last night. Here's a brief little recap that you can watch, and otherwise we will be back Tuesday, September 8th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Rime of the Frostmaiden Adventure 2 is what this will be, your Session 2. And that will be Ambush at Arlsparg, which is their next destination. So thank you very much for sticking with me. Thank you very much for watching this. For giving that first episode a go. I do appreciate that. We did get a number of new followers to the channel just from that first episode, so at least there's that, and hopefully we can continue to deliver I'm sorry, hopefully we can deliver better quality viewing experiences for the future episodes. So thank you very much. I will catch you all. Also, this Friday, the Stygian Queen will continue. So we do have our other campaign, our side campaign, which is a little more Dark Souls-y, horror kind of vibe. That will continue on Friday at around 9:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Stygian Queen, and that one you can spend your points to influence the game by gifting our players with healing potions, with inspiration, or gifting them with random encounters. So earn those channel points by watching, and then spend them this Friday during the Stygian Queen. And then, like I said, Rime of the Frostmaiden will be back next Tuesday, September 8th, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you very much. Again, I can't say this enough. I apologize for the stream issues last night, but thank you for following, for watching, and for continuing to support this channel, and I will catch you all next time.